All right, we are live. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. As promised, I'm going to do a breakdown of OKC and Spurs series that just occurred. I plan on definitely making a video for the Knicks and Cavs series, but honestly, part of me is like, bro, like we already know what happened with that. Fucking Cavs got washed. James Harden no show. I mean, there's not much more I could say on that, but obviously, I saw some guys making some great points about Donovan Mitchell. So, definitely we'll create a separate breakdown of that. But right now, I just want to focus on OKC and Spurs since it just occurred. And obviously, the game one of the NBA Finals is going to be this Wednesday. So, really excited about that. But let's break down some of the stats. Here, I'm going to share my screen. I want to break down some of the stats, and obviously SGA and Wemby showed the fuck out. I mean, there's no other way to say it. They really showed the fuck out. So, hold up. There we go. All right. Before we get into the video play, let's go over the stats. All right. So these teams were very evenly matched, as you can see. Um, no, this might be easier to do this for now. So these teams were very evenly matched, as you can see. The scoring was basically the same. Rebounds were a little bit on the Spurs side by, four, um, 4 rebounds per game. Steals, blocks, turnovers, relatively the same. I'm surprised by the free throws. I thought, OKC would have more free throws because of all the flopping and shit. But both teams were playing physical. Both teams were flopping. And I will say, I do still like watching SGA go to work. He reminds me of Kobe. I don't care what anybody says. The way he plays, the way he scores in the mid range, and he opposes his will. Um, I mean, part of me wanted to see OKC win, especially after they lost, because it's like, damn, I realized that they weren't gonna make history. They were gonna make history with going back to back potentially, and there hasn't been a back to back team since like 2019 or 2018. I gotta find that stat, but yeah, I mean, he showed the fuck out. Look at this shit: 27 points per game this playoffs. Um, Obviously, averaging damn near 30 for the season, and getting a lot of assists too. His average assist per game went up from like 6.5 to 8, which is crazy. So let me see if I could find. Okay, so this is the playoffs, right? And I want to find specifically though. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I don't care about the Lakers series. They watched them. Let's see. Where can I find? Or I probably already passed it. Here we go. This man averaged 26 for the Western Conference Series, 3 rebounds, basically 9 assists. So he was definitely getting his teammates involved. Um, he was okay. 30% from 3 point range is not bad, but he ended up being a -5 in the plus minus category. Very interesting. Um, Obviously, they were forcing him to shoot a lot of tough shots, and eventually their Spurs style play on defense was just, limiting the other players because eventually Caruso started to get hot. One of the games, this man was going off too. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Yeah, game one, Alex Caruso had 31 fucking points off the bench. So I was kind of getting scared of that. Like every time Caruso touched the fucking ball at the 3 point line, this man was clutch. And he does have that championship experience. Also, Jalen Williams had 26 points game one as well. So it's interesting how it went. It was game one, Spurs, then OKC won two straight. Then they went back and forth, and then obviously the Spurs fucking came out in the clutch, being down 3-2, and crazy how they won at home. Sorry, they won on away at Thunder's home, game 1 and game 7. So I found that really interesting. Before we get more into the stats, I know I'm a little bit all over the place. Hold up. Let me finish with Wemby. So Wemby, man, for the regular season, 25 points per game, 11 fucking rebounds, 3 assists. His playoffs, relatively the same, a little bit lower, but let's take a look at the series itself. So for the series itself, right? This man averaged 27 points, 11 rebounds, basically. Again, relatively the same. He shot 48% from field goal range in general and 40% from three, which is actually not bad. Attempted 6 fucking threes a game. So he was being ultra aggressive. I was worried about his offensive efficiency, but as you can see, he is a plus minus, basically a 9. And my thing with Wemby is like he just imposed his will like throughout the whole game. Like he proved that he's pretty much the best player in the world. And it's tough, man, because when someone's that lengthy and they figure out how to score on you, they figure out how to um, they influence you that much on defense. They influence the whole team dynamic. Like OKC had to really change up everything based on this one player. And I didn't think he would have this kind of effect on defense. Hovering around, basically I would see him, play off of other players. So you would think he wouldn't get a block on someone, but he would basically be covering one player and then getting ready to block another player um, while his teammate is defending that other player. And there was times I didn't think he would be able to get some of those blocks. Basically playing help defense. So I don't know why I underestimated him, but honestly, I'm glad he proved me wrong. Early on, I just wasn't paying that much attention to him. I didn't think much of him. I'll definitely admit that. But the funniest part is that I ended up switching my pick right before game 7. I predicted again that it would go to game 7 and that the Thunder would win, but I just had enough evidence by halftime to just know like, yo, they're gonna fucking do this. They're gonna upset them. Um, Before I get into the other games, I want to clarify some points from my last video real quick because I talked about how the Thunder, right? In game 7 last year against the Indiana Pacers, I felt like that was the last time they were really challenged in the playoffs, right? Funny enough, it's the finals. But you got to remember, Tyrese Halliburton was out most of the game of game 7. He got hurt the first 5 minutes, right? So um, it's kind of funny how it flipped on them in a way. Like, I guess the basketball gods didn't favor them in terms of having a fully healthy roster, even though they have depth, right? And there's challenges with that depth because AJ Mitchell and J Dub didn't really play that much in the series. Mitchell played 3 games and J Dub played 2. I actually have some stats here. Oh, this is De'Aaron. We're going to talk about him in a second. But basically, this guy was given pretty good output. I mean, here obviously it's like 5 points a game, but the last series with the Lakers, he was scoring 23 points a game basically. Add Oh, here it is. Hold up. Here we go. Nope. Nope. My bad, guys. I don't know why I got that motherfucker. Just had this shit up with AJ Mitchell, but here, I'll just look it up real quick. But basically, he was giving great output, and honestly, they would have helped the team out a lot. But this gave other players like Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren the opportunity to step up, and they didn't. And honestly, Lou Dort fell under the radar for me. I didn't even notice him in this series. He's always been pretty consistent throughout the playoffs, but yeah, he kind of disappeared. It was really Alex Caruso and Jared McCain that were consistent. I mean, Jalen Williams ended up playing in game 3. He had 18 points. And then I think Mitchell Mitchell hit some clutch shots in game 2, but he didn't play in game 4, game 5. Um, so yeah, AJ Mitchell only played 3 games and J Dub only played 2, and those other 2 players did not step up, and he would have gave great production. So funny enough, their depth worked against them, and that's the whole point I'm trying to make is like I feel like okay, I mean the Spurs were just so ready for this fucking team, and they weren't. They weren't expecting a team to punch them back like they were. They were smacking all the other teams, Lakers, whoever else they were playing. It didn't even matter. But this is the one team they got to prepare for. And people are being highly critical of Chet. I still think we need to give him a chance. It's not like he's scored. I mean, if you look at his regular season stats, it's not like he was scoring 20 to 25 points a game. He's always been great defensively, but obviously he shot away from the moment. And I'm not gonna lie, Victor took his lunch money, man. And unfortunately, Victor being this young and the same prototype as Chet, that's what everyone's looking at the end of the day. So it's like it's tough because Wemby set the fucking bar so high. Chet is 24 and this man's 22. So, everyone's going to be talking shit. Everyone's going to be comparing them to each other. But, obviously I think both of them are great players, and I think Chet just needs to be more aggressive. Yeah, I had some stats up here, but let's go. These are some of the game breakdowns, but let's switch it up real quick. I got more stats to read off and whatnot, but I'm gonna go over some highlights real quick off of Twitter, maybe YouTube as well. Hold up. That looks a little bit better. All right, let's see. This shit made me laugh right here. Let me play this.
Just what are some things you think you can do to help get Chet a little bit more involved offensively?
Yeah.
Just what are
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Now, he was flopping a lot, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people were getting sick of that shit. They really were. But yeah, man. I feel like OKC, I mean, Spurs just play fucking aggressive. Like right here, them getting the steal. You just can't stop Wemby. Just can't fucking stop him. I remember seeing this play. I love the energy that Castle brings. I was worried about Castle because he was getting fouled out a lot. Well, no, he wasn't getting fouled out, but he was accumulating a lot of fouls, especially in the last series. So that was something I was worried about with him. And I'm going to break down Spurs and Knicks soon. But yeah, I mean, it all came down to Wemby, honestly. Wemby was the difference maker. Didn't matter that Shea went off. Honestly, it really came down to fucking Wemby, bro. He's best player in the world right now, so really can't say enough about him. Let's go here. Actually, I wanted to show you guys something else. So here we have some like a display of like all these percentages of field goals, basically, right? So if we look at Shea, I mean, Shea was basically scoring from everywhere, and it's interesting that he shot 42% right here off of the wings, 3-point, well, right before the 3-point lines. So those were his sweet spots. And then obviously, if we look to the right, we look at Wemby, all in the fucking paint, 55% right there at the fucking basket. I mean, surprised that number's not higher, honestly. So Wemby really surprised me though from 3. Like every time he would shoot a 3, I just thought he was gonna brick a lot of those, but he was actually pretty impressive from 3-point range. Now, I filtered by points, and look who's up here: Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Lou Dort. They could have gotten way more out of those guys. I know Aaron Wiggins was injured. I don't know what's up with Isaiah Joe. We look at steals, Cason Wallace. We look at 3-point percentage, should see Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso. That makes sense. Isaiah Hartenstein, 53% from the field. And technically Chet, 51%. But he was a -2 the whole fucking series. Crazy. I want to see something. If there's like a free throws attempted, Victor and Stephon Castle. Not surprised with that. But field goals, okay. Jordan, McLaughlin, Victor's up there with 89% from the free throw line. Victor had the highest plus minus, so that's how you know he was so effective from both sides. Obviously, he's gonna play the most fucking minutes. My man had 3 blocks a game, man. That shit was crazy. But yeah, let's switch over to some of the video play, some of the gameplay. Let's go. Nah. There we go. This is game 1 right here. Game 1, I loved watching it. Instant classic. I was really surprised again when the Spurs just came into their fucking building. And again, I was actually kind of pissed at De'Aaron Fox throughout this whole series, but he turned up game 7. Let's skip to the overtime though. Hold up. All right, let's look at some plays real quick that really made a difference. And Dylan Harper, man, can't say enough about him. Cannot say enough about him. Again, Shea was relentless. He was going to keep his team afloat. Is this the fucking shot right here? Yes, it is. When I saw this, bruh, that's how I knew. That's how I knew they were gonna go toe to toe. They were gonna go game 7 with this fucking team. They were gonna go game 7. And Chet had a clutch block here. See something. No. Let me show you guys something. My bad. That was game 1. Game 2, OKC ended up taking it. Let me give some stats while this is playing off. So it looks like game 2, right? Cason Wallace had 12 points. He was 4-6 from 3. Stephon Castle had 25 points. Victor had 21, and Shea had 30 points, 9 assists. Again, I feel like, you know, Shea was so consistent. So as soon as they get J-Dub back and Chet gets his confidence back, I mean, this series could have really went either way. But I feel like, again, like I said earlier, OKC just wasn't ready. So Fox came back in this game. This is game 3. And they ended up losing this game. So so the Spurs came out with a 15-point lead in the first quarter. But then OKC had a 37-point quarter in the third quarter. Which, you know, again, I think third quarter, I don't know if OKC was consistent with that. I know the Warriors were infamous for killing teams off of the third quarter, coming out of the halftime. Jared McCain was great. I'm glad his zesty ass is in Cancun though, and I keep seeing the TikToks. let me stop. Casey Wallace had 3 steals. Devin Vassell had 4 steals. Go to game 4. I was so happy when I saw that the Spurs won this shit. Thunder shot 33% from the field. Let's see. Dylan Harper was plus 25 in 21 minutes with 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. SGA was held to 19 points. Victor had 33 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. So he showed out in this fucking game. This is when the Thunder took control, and I was scared that they were going to win in 6 and fuck up my prediction. Shea had 32, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. Victor had 20 points, 6 rebounds. OKC outscored San Antonio 40-31 in the second quarter. And Alex Caruso had 22 off the bench. He was killing them. I think Jared McCain ended up hitting like a big shot near the end, right before Caruso did. Hartenstein was pretty consistent too. I hated seeing him go off like that, man. I really did. All right, this is game 6. So game 6, Dylan Harper had 17 off the bench. Stephon Castle, 17, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. Victor had 28, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, and was 10 from 21 from the field, 44% from 3. And apparently the Spurs went on a 20-0 run in the third quarter and outscored OKC 32-13. Insane. Yeah, that's wild. And they blew him the fuck out too. Keldon Johnson, he was great too, coming off the bench. Gave him great minutes. Kind of reminds me of like a Draymond Green. Who else does he remind me of? I'm gonna have to come back to that one. Luke Cornett, you know, I'm biased because like he played for us for the Celtics and helped us win the championship. So shout out to him. All right, game 7, man. I was so surprised when I saw this. Julian Champagny had 20 points. 18 of them were from threes. Casey Wallace had 17. Shea had 35 and 9 assists. San Antonio led for most of the game, was up by 12 with 3:45 left. Yeah, I believe they didn't even, like, after the half, it was like 56-53. And this is where I made that video changing my prediction. But after that, I don't think they ever let up. This guy, man, scoring in the fucking paint. And he plays great defense, too. And I think he's like fucking 20. Hitting them fucking threes. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to have a hard time with that. Jalen Williams played really well. I thought he hit some pretty clutch shots. And De'Aaron Fox, he turned up. Oh. Bang. Shit is crazy, man. But yeah, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. I know I came a little late with this one and doing this shit late as hell, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and promise I will make a lot better videos than this one. And I'll be more prepared. So make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.